Hi there, this is Floating in Books. Today I'm going to be showing you my Vagabond shoe collection. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Jump scare, no makeup. I have to go out and do a yoga class in about 30 minutes or so. So I have a little bit of time to film. I was like, you know what? I don't think anybody cares whether I'm wearing makeup or not. It's just a chill Saturday. And I'm filming this video for you because I've already shown you several times my entire Doc Marten collection. That tends to be one of my favorite shoe brands. But I have another one, and they are called Vagabond Shoemakers. They are Swedish, and I have loads of different shoes by them that I've gathered over the years, and I figured I could show you. So here's the entire collection. I have 7 pairs of flats and sandals in the front and 7 pairs of boots in the back. Vagabond Shoemakers tends to be my go-to brand for shoes that are a little bit more classic. As much as I love my Doc Martens, they are always a bit more of a casual vibe. But if I want comfort and style, Vagabond Shoemakers. Not saying that Doc Martens aren't stylish, of course. I like that style. That's why I have so many. But if I want something different that feels a little bit more classic, this is the brand I go for. I feel they do really good staple shoes that are really good quality, but not super expensive. Like, it's all really good quality shoes. They have an entire website, I just found out, where they also explain how the shoes are made. They have a section on every single shoe, like where it's made, where the materials come from. And for something like knee-high boots, they even tell you how wide the shaft of the boot is. So like this top half, which a lot of brands actually don't tell you about. So for me, they have been a go-to for years. I discovered them a couple of years ago during a winter sale season. I was looking for a pair of black boots and I got 4 in one go because they were so affordable. And I feel it's a brand that's very slept on. As far as I know, they are from Sweden. So that's where the brand originates from. And I did, when I went to Sweden last year, I did see a Vagabond store. At the time, there wasn't anything on the wish list, but for some reason, the Vagabond ads have been finding me on TikTok through the algorithm, and that's how I actually got a couple of other shoes. But as you can see, these are all a little bit more classic, a little bit more minimal compared to what most Doc Martens have to offer. And some of these look horrible because I've worn them so much. So that just goes to show you that, for instance, this pair that's sitting right in front of me right here, these booties, they're just my go-tos. Like I said, I did discover them through sale, so I got these two. Maybe I got 3 pairs of shoes for like 200 euros in that sale. But I got these 3 in one go. These, I've worn the most of those. These I got on ASOS. These I got through some sale as well. And then these I got through Urban Outfitters. And I didn't even realize that this was Vagabond for a very long time. But that's a pair of snake skin print, like platform sandals. So let me talk you through everything that I have and showcase all of these shoes. Shall I zoom you in perhaps a little bit, or shall we just start at the front and then work our way to the back? I'll start at the front. So I'll start with these black sandals. I do apologize for how gross they look, but they kind of just sit like this. Your toe goes through here, and then they sort of crisscross across your foot. I panic bought these in the summer sale on Omoda this summer before I went to Japan because a lot of my sandals were giving me so many blisters. And I just realized, because I was test driving so many sandals before that trip to know, because I knew it would be hot, so I didn't want to wear sneakers every single day, that a lot of the sandals that give me blisters have straps that go horizontally across my foot. I knew then that I needed something with a crisscross. This came up on my Vagabond ad on TikTok, and I was like, that's perfect. I looked them up online, found them on a deal, ordered them straight away, took them to Japan, broke them in, did 25,000 steps on these the first day I wore them. No blisters. The only thing I do have to protect a little bit is my toe, because the leather strap that divides your toes is a little bit thicker. So that is prone to giving you blisters at first. So you just put a Band-Aid around your toe and you're fine. So these were lovely. That's why they look gross, because I wore these almost every single day in Japan. I could not take these off. And because they have a slightly thicker sole, They are really comfortable. Even though they are a flat sandal, they do have a cushiony sort of footbed. So these are good, really comfy sandals for sure. And then the other pair of sandals I have, like I said, these were from an Urban Outfitters sale. I haven't worn these in a while because I'm currently not really going for this style, but they're snake print skin. So I think these are really fun. Again, with the crisscross around the toe box, which is good. So these actually fit me. You can also tell like my toes have left imprints in these from when I was wearing them more regularly. But they're just a little bit too clunky for what I want. Like it's got a pretty big block heel and then the platform to it. That's why they are comfortable and they do give you a little bit of height. So as far as a comfortable pair of shoe goes that are a sandal, these definitely take the cake. It's just not really something I'm wearing currently. And then I don't have just one, not two, but 3 pairs of their Adison Mary Janes that they did last year. I was on the hunt for a pair of burgundy Mary Janes all last fall. It was super trending. I almost bought the babies from Cezanne. These are half price if you buy them full price compared to the babies by Cezanne, just so you know. And I think these are more comfortable. I also like that these are closed at the back. The Cezanne ones often have like more of a mule style. And I have pretty wide feet and a high arch, so I can't always fit into things with straps. It just doesn't fit my feet. And I like these so much that I got them in 2 more colors. So these were the first ones I got. Really fun for the fall time. They are a patent, I never know how to say that. But again, low block heel, so very comfortable. The not only are the straps adjustable, but there's a little bit of an elastic, so you don't have to undo the buckles every time you put these on. You can actually just slip your foot in if you use a bit of a shoehorn here, and they're super comfortable. They have a bit of a squared off toe box as well, which makes them a little bit more modern and a little bit more updated, and I love the shade of these. With patent leather, I'm always afraid it's going to break because essentially it's a layer of plastic over the leather, but these have held up really well. And I was, when I was buying the burgundy ones, very much on the fence about these silver ones. It was between these two. Because I like the burgundy ones so much, I ended up buying these in the sale that they did that winter. So I sort of kept an eye out for these. And also the Vagabond website is really reliable. I've shopped through them a couple of times now and shipping is really fast and I've never had any issues with them. I'm through size 37, by the way, in European sizing, which is, I think, a women's size 7 in the US and a women's size 4 in the UK. This is the exact same style. The patent on here is a little bit less because it's already a metallic sort of shoe. And I love a silver. It's better for me than like a nude. And then I like them so much that I actually found these red ones in the fall time. I was like, you know what I want? I want a red Mary Jane. I was like, am I going to get the same pair of shoes in 3 different colors? I was like, but these are comfy. I know these and they're nice and these I can slip on and they're good. Haven't worn these yet though, but they're just essentially the same shoe, but in a different color. They're in the bright red and I feel like bright red shoes are just such a fun addition to any wardrobe. And then the final 2 pairs of flats that I have are a black and a brown pair. When loafers first became really, really popular, I decided to buy their Alex W penny loafer. This is just your classic style. This is the reason why I don't have a pair of black loafers from Doc Martens, because I already have these and I don't need 2 pairs. These are just a classic penny loafers. There are no embellishments, no like metal bits or anything. So these are super classic, super plain. They go with everything. They are heavy though, because this sole is pretty chunky, but they are a little bit more classic than a regular loafer. They fit me really well. With sizing these though, they can be a little bit big though. I remember that reading online when I bought these, but this was my first purchase through the Vagabond website actually. And then I have a pair of boat shoes. This is the only pair I still need to do a little bit more breaking in on. They have a pretty thick rim around the back and that's been giving me issues. If I don't walk around too much, I'm actually fine, but I should not go on a hike in these. Last summer, boat shoes were everywhere. I knew I wanted a pair. I actually got a pair through Vinted that ended up not being like it just fell apart upon arrival. And these are exactly the same as the ones I got on Vinted, but they're by Vagabond. Great for the spring summer season. I like having this brown pair. And again, Doc Marten has been doing a style similar to this, so that's why I don't have the Doc Martens in this shade of brown. I have the Doc Martens in like a darker brown with a mock croc, and I have the leopard prints ones. They're the Lowell mock toe, but these are a little bit more like slimline, a little bit more classic. They have the little roping detail around the back as well. I was really looking for that. So these are comfortable. I just need to make sure I soften this. I think I need to take like a rubber hammer to it and just hammer it down. And then we're moving on to boots. I have quite a few of their boots. I think they're really lovely. As you can see, this pair is absolutely wrecked. This is the same pair of shoes. This is something I've noticed, especially when browsing the Vagabond official website, is that they do shoes that have the same name. And the way the shoes seem to be named is, like, if you look at them from the side, what profile they give. So the shoe can be a different material, a different color. They may have zips or laces like these ones, but these were both called Grace. They no longer do it, but the heel height is the same and the profile they make from the side is pretty similar. But these, as you will see, they're a little bit lower on the ankle and they have laces. So these I wear the most. They are a classic Chelsea boot with a bit of a heel, and I wore these a ton. Then I threw my back out and I couldn't really wear heels, but they have been lovely again. I have been wearing them a bit more. They're very scuffed on the toe box. I need to give them another clean and take them to the cobbler perhaps, because the leather is very much scuffed, but these are some of my go-to, like I just need a comfy pair of shoes and I throw these on. Because I wore the other ones so much, I never really got the hang of wearing these lower ones with the lace-ups. These are also called Grace, and like I said, these are lower down on the ankle, and because they do have a chunkier heel that is pretty high, it's not too stable. The other ones feel a little bit more stable because the shoe just is a little bit higher. These sort of stop where your ankle starts, so if you are a little bit like wobbly on your feet, these are probably not the best. Like I said, they no longer do the Grace though. They no longer do this style of sole, but these are still my favorite, and I'm really glad I have them for those days where I want something a slightly different vibe. These work fine. And in that same order, I actually got these pointed toe Chelsea boots. I used to have a pair like this from ASOS that I wore to absolute death. I just haven't really been into pointy toes lately, so that's why these are very little worn, but I have them. They're a good classic. They're very slimline, very sleek looking, and they are an excellent shoe as well. It's just a style I don't currently go for a lot, so that's why these are a little less worn. And then the final pair of black boots, for a while there, I really wanted a pair of patent leather black boots. These are their Mya boot, I believe these were called. And these were difficult to track down. I did get them in a sale again. They just have the zip up and they go a little bit higher up the leg than most of my ankle boots go. But these are so fun. They have, again, a really fun sort of patent leather to it that looks a little bit crinkly, and I feel that that actually adds to the vibes. But again, pointed toe box, so I'm not currently wearing them a whole lot, but they are a good shoe. And then I have some brown boots here as well. These are a pair of Western style boots. Like, they're not cowboy boots, but they do give off this Western vibe. If you saw my most recent weekend outfits video, you will have seen me wear these as well as a couple of other pairs I'm showing you today. These were really randomly sold on ASOS, and I got them for like 50 euros in the sale. Nobody wanted these apparently, but they're very comfy. They have more of like an elastication here, so they're very sort of tight around your foot. Around your calf, I should say. And again, they're a little bit higher up. I feel like these are a similar height to the Myas. And again, a bit of a chunky brown sole. I love this because very often shoes like this actually have a black sole, which I always think is a bit cheap looking. But because these have the very dark brown, they just go with any outfit that you want to make that has a bit of brown. And despite this being a pretty orange tone brown, I can actually put this with many different outfits that I have. Then I have a pair of suede boots. I, again, bought these before suede boots were ever really a thing. My shoes do get a lot of like damage here on the heels always because I ride my bike and they kind of, like my bike hits the shoe sometimes, so you get these scuffs, but that's life. I wear these. These are, again, a little bit more pointed, so I don't wear them a lot for that reason, but it's my only pair of really suede boots, so I tend to like these anyways. I tend to wear these a little bit more because they're a bit more unique in my entire shoe collection. They are a little bit tight though, also because of the pointed toe I feel, and I've got pretty wide feet, so when I wear these, you can see my like little toe like hanging in there, you could say. Because they're suede, I only wear these when it's not raining to keep them as clean as possible, because rain and suede just don't go together. So I do plan my outfits according to the weather. And I do like the heel. Like, I love that it's a little bit more slanted. Again, nice heel height, still very comfortable and easy to walk in. And then I did show you this pair in my weekend outfits already. This is my newest pair of Vagabond boots. This is their Merrill knee-high boot, which I love this toe box. It's so 70s. It's like a little bit squared off. I already wore them once and they were super comfortable, like right off the bat. They have the zip inside, and then they don't have any elastic, nothing here. On the models, this shoe looks really wide up. I believe this was 41 or 42 centimeters, so they just about fit my calves. One calf fits a little bit better than the other, I have to say, but these are lovely, and they're in this lovely chocolate brown suede, and that was something that I still wanted, like a good pair of knee-high chocolate brown suede boots. I have like this cognac, like lighter style already own. So I wanted something in a different color, and that was a little bit lower as well, because the other ones I have are really high. They're like proper heels. And these do have a heel, but again, very comfortable, very easy to wear. And I'm really loving these. So those were a good purchase for the fall. That is now the most expensive pair of shoes I have in my entire shoe collection. Luckily, I had never like signed up for the newsletter yet, so I was able to get a bit of a discount on these. But yeah, full price, they were like 250 euros, which is, I think, the most I've ever spent on a pair of shoes. But I think these are going to last me a lifetime. Most of these shoes have, like, those very first Grace boots I've had for more than 5 years. I remember already wearing a lot of those before I ever changed jobs during COVID. So I've had them for a long time, and they're still holding up really well, even with almost daily usage for that pair of Chelsea boots I showed you. So these were all of my Vagabond shoes. Thank you so very much for watching this video today. Thumbs it up if you liked it, and subscribe. I will be back with a new video next week. Not sure yet what I'll be doing then exactly, but I will be traveling this weekend and I'm considering vlogging it. So let me know if that's something you would like to see. So thanks so much for being here today. See you very, very soon. Bye-bye.